Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. Today I am going to present the topic nutrients and manures. Before presentation I would like to introduce myself. I am Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. I have done M.Sc Agriculture with a specialization in Agronomy from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar in 1996. So let's move to the presentation. In this presentation we will cover the various topics like nutrient requirements, functions of nutrients, manures and fertilizers, use of organic manures, green manuring, need of biofertilizers, vermicompost and organic farming. What are nutrients? Plant nutrients are elements that are essential for plant growth and reproduction that are available in the soil like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And some nutrients are available in air and water like carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. When existing soil nutrients cannot produce good crop yields, additional nutrients must be added to the soil to increase the fertility. Nutrients are added to the soil from commercial fertilizers or from organic sources such as manure, compost or biosolids. So nutrients are needed to the plants, crops for their growth, and we have to give the supplements if the soil is unable to provide the nutrients to the crop in adequate manner. Plant nutrients. Crop plants need 16 essential elements for their normal growth and development. Most of these nutrients are supplied by organic manures and fertilizers. The organic manures and fertilizers perform different functions. The organic manures add organic matter to the soil and improve physical properties of the soil and also supply essential plant nutrients in small quantities, whereas fertilizers supply nutrients to the crop in large quantities and are helpful for maintaining fertility and productivity of soil. Now to study the requirement of plant nutrients. First one, crop obtain most of their carbon and oxygen from the air and hydrogen is obtained from soil water. Carbon dioxide is especially important for plant growth. It is taken up by the plant from air through pores in the green leaves and combines with hydrogen from soil water to form carbohydrate and other plant substances by energy from sunlight, which is known as photosynthetic activity. Third, out of the 13 nutrients which are taken from soil like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are used in large quantities and hence these are known as primary nutrients. Other nutrients as calcium, magnesium and sulfur are needed in moderate to small quantities, but they play an important role in formation of plant tissues. These are known as secondary nutrients. The remaining nutrients are needed in very small quantities and they are known as micronutrients. Plants needs 16 elements to grow. They get these from soil, water and soil. Now we will study about classification of essential elements. These elements are classified in different categories based on different parameters. Like first one, based on the relative quantity that is normally present in plants. On this basis, the elements are classified in three categories. Like first one, micronutrient, which are known as major nutrients and primary nutrients. Such nutrients are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Other nutrients are secondary nutrients which are needed to the crop in small quantities, but they are very important for the functions of the crop like calcium, magnesium and sulfur. And third category is micronutrients, which are also known as minor, tertiary and trace elements, and the nutrients which are needed to the crop in very small quantity, but these nutrients are playing important role in indirect activities like iron, manganese, zinc, copper, molybdenum, boron, chlorine, sodium, silicon, cobalt, vanadium, gallium, etc. And the second parameter is based on the chemical nature. On this basis, the elements are classified in 4 categories like metals, non-metals, cations, anions. Under metals, the nutrients which are coming elements potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, manganese, copper, cobalt and vanadium. Under non-metals, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, boron, molybdenum, chlorine, silicon. Then some nutrients are cations like ammonium, potassium, calcium, iron, manganese, copper and zinc. And other elements which are available in anion form like nitrate, phosphate, sulfate, borate, etc. Third classification of elements is on the basis of mobility in plants. On this basis, the nutrients are classified in 4 categories like first one highly mobile, second is moderately mobile, third is less mobile and fourth is immobile. Under highly mobile, the nutrients which are coming nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. These nutrients having high mobility in plants, so their deficiency symptoms will be appear on older leaves. Second is moderately mobile, in which the zinc is coming, so these symptoms of deficiency will appear on older leaves or medium leaves. Then third category is less mobile, under which the movement of the mobiles are in a very low quantity, low speed like sulfur, iron, copper, manganese, chlorine and molybdenum. And in such cases, the deficiency symptoms will be appear on younger leaves. Third category is coming under immobile, the elements which are not moving up to the plant process, and for these elements the deficiency symptoms will be arise on apical leaves, means newly emerging points, growing points. So the calcium and boron are coming under this category and they are not mobile in plant system. Fourth classification is based on general functions. The nutrients are having different functions like first one, these are working as a constituent of either organic or inorganic compounds. And the elements which are coming under this category is nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, calcium, boron, iron and manganese. Second is elements as an activator, cofactor in prosthetic group of enzyme system. Means these elements are having the enzymatic activities and they are playing an important role like potassium, magnesium, calcium, iron, zinc, manganese, copper, molybdenum, sodium and chlorine. Third category is a charge carrier in oxidation and reduction reactions like phosphorus, sulfur, iron, manganese, copper and molybdenum. And fourth category, the nutrients which are involved in osmosis regulator and for electron chemical equilibrium in cells like sodium, potassium and chlorine. Potassium is playing important role in stomata opening. Now to study the functions of nutrients. The different nutrients are having different functions and which are playing important role in plant photosynthetic activity or normal biochemical activities. First one is nitrogen. Like it makes plant dark green and succulent and it promotes vegetative growth of the plant. Second is phosphorus. Phosphorus stimulates root development, increases the number of tillers and give strength to straw and prevents lodging. So phosphorus is one of the important nutrients which is directly providing the physical support to the plant and hardiness to face the adverse conditions. Second is phosphorus hastens ripening of plants and counteracts the effect of excessive nitrogen. So it is working as a balancing activity. Third is phosphorus improves the quality and yield of grain by increasing the weight and size of the grain or seed. Fourth, phosphorus increases disease resistance, enhances the activity of rhizobia and increases the formation of root nodules in legumes. Third nutrient is potassium. which is having the role in vigor and disease resistance to plant. Second is potassium increases efficiency of the leaf in manufacturing sugars and starch. And third, it helps to produce a stiff straw in cereals and reduces lodging. And another activity, it is playing very important role in stomata opening and closing by involving the osmosis process. Now, functions of calcium. Calcium increases stiffness of straw and promotes early root development and growth. And second, it increases seed production by the way of increasing the seed size and weight. Fifth, magnesium. Magnesium is essential for all green plants as it is the part of chlorophyll. And second, magnesium helps in uptake of phosphorus and regulates uptake of other nutrients. Now, functions of sulfur. Sulfur stimulates root growth, seed formation and nodule formation, and it is the one of the important constituent of oils. Now, functions of iron. Iron is essential for formation of chlorophyll and synthesis of protein and several metabolic reactions. Now, magnesium. Magnesium helps in chlorophyll formation. Then zinc, which helps formation of growth hormones and chlorophyll. Then copper, which regulates respiratory activities in plants. And boron helps in uptake of calcium and it is efficient used by plants. Now its help in absorption of nitrogen and boron is necessary in cell division. Then molybdenum, which is essential for nitrogen fixing organisms both symbiotic and non-symbiotic. Then chlorine. Chlorine is considered essential for photosynthetic process. Till now we studied about nutrients. Now we will study about manures and fertilizers. First one, classification of manures and fertilizers. Variety of manures and fertilizers are classified into two broad groups. First one, natural or organic manures, and second, artificial or chemical fertilizers. Now we will study about natural organic manures. First one is farm yard manure. FIM, farm yard manure, is a mixture of cattle dung, urine, litter or bedding material and portions of fodder which are not consumed by cattle and domestic wastes like ashes etc. which are collected and dumped into a pit or a heap in corner of the backyard, which is converted to the FIM. It is allowed to remain there and rot till it is taken out and applied to the field. Well-rotten farmyard manure contains about 0.5% nitrogen, 0.2% phosphorus and 0.5% potassium. Second is compost, a mass of rotted organic matter which are made from agriculture wastes is called compost. Compost is organic matter that has been decomposed in a process called composting. It is made from farm wastes like sugarcane trash, paddy straw, weeds, stubbles, bhusa, sewage, sludges, etc. Compost manure is rotten plant and animal waste. Composting process produces an organic fertilizer which are high in plant nutrients, which improves soil physical characteristics, reduces organic wastes on the farm and eliminates pathogens. Compost manure is therefore a cheaper alternative, but it is playing very important role for the physical improvement of soil. Third natural manure is green manuring. Green manuring is the plowing under or soil incorporation of any green manure crops while they are green or soon after they flower. Green manures are forage or leguminous crops that are grown for their leafy material needed for adding organic matter to the soil and soil conservation. Green manuring with legumes improves soil nitrogen fixation via biological methods. Sunhems, Crotalaria juncea and Dhecha, Susbania aculeata are the most common green manuring crops. It is obtained in two ways, by growing green manure crops or by collecting green leaf along with twigs from plants grown in wastelands, field bunds and forests. So green manuring is of two types, green manure crop and green leafy manure crop, about which we will discuss now. Under green manure, first one is green manure crops. The plants that are grown for green manure known as green manure crops. Green manuring is growing in the field plants usually belonging to leguminous family and incorporating into the soil after sufficient growth after 35 to 40 days of sowing. The most important green manure crops are sun hemp, dhencha, Pilspesara, cluster beans and Susbania rostrata. Under green manuring, second group is green leaf manure crops. Application of green leaves and twigs of trees, shrubs and herbs collected from elsewhere is known as green leaf manuring. Forest trees leaves are the main sources for green leaf manure. Plants growing in wastelands, field bunds, etc. are another source of green leaf manure crops. The important plant species which are useful for green leaf manures are neem, mahua, wild indigo, Glacieridia, karanji and Calotropis avice, subabul and other shrubs. So under this category the leaves are collected and that is incorporated to the soil. Now to study about vermicompost, which are the one of the natural manuring. It is the method of making compost with the use of earthworms which generally live in soil, eat biomass and excrete it in digested forms. This compost is generally called vermicompost or vermicompost. Vermicompost is the product of the decomposition process using various species of worms, usually red wigglers, white worms and other earthworms to create a mixture of decomposing vegetable or food waste, bedding material and vermicast to transform organic waste into a nutrient-rich fertilizer and ensure higher quality compost material that is added to soil to improve its quality. Vermicast is the end product of the breakdown of organic matter by earthworms. So vermicompost is playing very important role in improving the soil condition, its physical properties and productivity. Now to study biofertilizers. The biofertilizers containing biological nitrogen fixing organisms are of utmost importance in agriculture. Like we are using biofertilizers which are having the very important role in biological nitrogen fixation. Now the advantages of biofertilizers. These biofertilizers are helping in the establishment and growth of crop plants and trees. They enhance biomass production and grain yield by 10 to 20%. And biofertilizers are useful in sustainable agriculture and they are suitable in organic farming and play an important role in agroforestry and silvipastoral system. Now to study about types of biofertilizers. First one is rhizobium. Rhizobium is most widely used biofertilizer which colonizes the roots of specific legumes to form tuber-like growth called root nodules. These nodules act as factories of ammonia production. The rhizobium legume association can fix up to 100 to 300 kg nitrogen in one crop season. These are symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria which invades the root hairs of host plants where they multiply and stimulate formation of root nodules, enlargement of plant cells and bacteria are in intimate association. Within the nodules, the bacteria converts free nitrogen to ammonia which the host plant utilizes for its development. So there is symbiotic relationship between rhizobium and plant where rhizobium bacteria is providing the nitrogen nutrients to the plants and the plant is providing the space to the bacteria in the form of root nodules. Second biofertilizer is azotobacter. Application of azotobacter has been found to increase yield of wheat, rice, maize, pearl millet and sorghum by 0 to 30% over control. Apart from nitrogen, this azote vector is also capable of producing antifungal and antibacterial compounds and hormones. These azote vectors are asymbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria which grow on decomposing soil organic matter and produce nitrogenous compound for their own growth and development. Besides, they leave behind a significant amount of nitrogen in surrounding which is useful for plant growth. So here in this case there is asymbiotic relationship, means there is no beneficial relationship between plant and bacteria. Only bacteria is producing the nitrogen which is in excess amount, which is used by plants as well as for their crop growth. Third biofertilizer is azoospermum. Certain microorganisms like bacteria and blue-green algae have the ability to use atmospheric nitrogen and transport this nutrient to the crop plants. Azoospermum is inoculated to maize, barley, oats, sorghum, pearl millet and forage crops. It increases grain productivity of cereals by 5 to 20%, of millets by 30% and fodder by 50%. These azoospermum bacteria are also asymbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria which grow on decomposing soil organic matter. Next biofertilizer is blue-green algae. The utilization of blue-green algae is a biofertilizer for rice is very promising. A judicious use of these algae could provide to the country entire rice acreage as much nitrogen is obtained from 15 to 70 lakh tons of urea. Algae also helps to reduce soil alkalinity. Blue-green algae are actually types of bacteria which are known as cyanobacteria found on water and on land. Cyanobacteria fix nitrogen which is an essential nutrient for supporting plant growth. The cyanobacteria tap the sun's energy captured during photosynthesis to fix nitrogen from the air and turn it into a form which plant can use. So these blue-green algae are playing important role for nitrogen fixing, especially in rice crop. Next biofertilizer is azolla. A small floating water which forms azolla is commonly seen in low landfills and in shallow freshwater bodies. These form harbors a blue-green algae. The Azolla Enabina Association is a live floating nitrogen factory using energy from photosynthesis to fix atmospheric nitrogen according to 100 to 150 kg nitrogen per hectare every year from about 40 to 60 tons of biomass. The symbiotic association between the aquatic fern Azolla and Enabina is very important for rice fields. In this association, Enabina receives carbon and nitrogen from the plants in exchange for fixed nitrogen. This adds organic matter to the soil, enhancing the fertility of soil fields. Azolla also enhances the availability of phosphorus than chemical fertilizers, besides improving the carbon-nitrogen ratio of soils. Now mycorrhiza. Symbiotic association exists between plants and fungi also. These associations are called mycorrhiza. The fungus in this association could absorb phosphorus from the soil and provides it to the plants. It occurs naturally in lowland and upland rice. It mobilizes the phosphorus required by rice and also provides nutrients such as iron, zinc, copper and manganese etc. It is the symbiotic association of fungi with roots of vascular plants. It is useful in increasing phosphorus uptake in fruit crops like citrus and papaya. Now organic farming. Organic farming is a method of farming system which primarily aimed at cultivating the land and raising crops in such a way as to keep soil alive and in good health by use of organic waste like animal and farm waste and aquatic waste and other biological materials along with beneficial microorganisms like biofertilizers to release nutrients to crops for increased sustainable production in an eco-friendly pollution-free environment. So organic farming is very important as the environment pollution is concerned. Here we have shown the picture which represents the component of organic farming, like green leaf manures or green manuring, then crop rotation, biological management, animal husbandry practices, use of biofertilizers and use of manures. Because of this organic farming concept, we can improve the soil conditions and increase the productivity, and the produce will be also safe side. Organic farming is a production system which favors maximum use of organic materials like using crop residue, animal excreta, legumes, on and off farm organic wastes, growth regulators and biopesticides, etc. And it discourages the use of synthetically produced agro inputs for maintaining soil productivity and fertility and pest management under conditions of sustainable natural resources and healthy environment. The more widely used term organic farming describes two major aspects of alternate agriculture, like first the substitution of manures and other organic matter for inorganic fertilizers, and second the use of biological pest control instead of chemical pest control. Now organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers are the fertilizers which are derived from animal matter, animal excreta like manures, human excreta and vegetable matter, which is the compost and crop residue. Naturally occurring organic fertilizers include animal wastes from meat processing, peat, manures, slurry and guano. The organic agriculture is relied on organizing the production of crops and livestock and the management of farm resources so that they harmonize rather than conflicts with natural resources or natural systems. Then second, using and development of appropriate technologies based on understanding of biological systems. And third, achieving and maintaining soil fertility for optimum production. And fourth, using diversification to pursue optimum production and aiming for optimum nutritional value of a staple food and maintaining and preserve wildlife and other habitats. Now the merits of organic farming. Organic farming conserves the ecological base of farming, no pollution of atmosphere, soil and water. It maintains soil productivity and tilth, improves soil aeration, structure and water holding capacity, and it is low cost farming. Organic farming improves physiochemical and biological properties of soil and improves quality of food grain and fodder. So organic farming is very important in relation to control of pollution and producing safe. So this presentation was all about nutrients and manures. Hope this will be very useful to all of you. Now my presentation ends here. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journey with Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it and provide your kind and valuable feedback. Thank you.